All right, we are rolling. We are rolling. Hi, Nathaniel. How are you?
Good. Good to see you. Good to see
Good.
you all the way from Albania.
Albania. Now, what are you doing in Albania? You're vacationing?
Yeah, I got some family out here. I'm currently looking the Ionian Sea, but yeah, we're on the beach right now. So sorry I don't have my colored tee on.
I love it. Now, tell me what you do. Now, you tell me about your company and how you started that and what got you into t-shirts. That's my first question.
Yeah. So I left the military in 2021. I did 13 years. Moved out to San Diego. I was a big air guy back when I was active duty, so I started teaching military free fall for the Navy basic course.
What year were you in the Navy? Sorry.
I started in 2008 and I got out in
Yep.
2021.
Yep.
So I had all the qualifications, the tandem bundle, the accelerated free fall
Mm-hmm.
instructor. So I went what I knew best, and that was to go teach military free fall for aspiring SEALs. I did that for almost 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And then from there, I did what I intentionally wanted to do for leaving the military, which was be an entrepreneur and start a business.
Yep.
The t-shirt idea, the clothing idea. So it's currently shirts, hoodies, tank tops. I'm
Yeah.
developing shorts and pants right now. So the inspiration came from the first time that I put on a like a performance tee. I'm kind of funny about I'm a sweaty guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would only wear cotton tees. They shrink, they wrinkle. I sweat. I have sweaty armpits. It shows. It's just a disaster. Anytime I'm wearing a shirt, the first time I put on a performance tee, it kind of concealed my sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was light and it was like anything. It didn't shrink. It was like any other, shirt that I've worn, and I actually looked presentable in most occasions where before I did not. So I wanted to recreate that and I wanted to make it better. I come from a place that was big on developing tactics and developing always looking to the next bridge line, developing new things
Yeah.
and ideas. I wanted to do was bring that to clothing. So I wanted to develop, performance clothing, and that's where it all came from. So starting off, I shamelessly watched YouTube videos, endless hours of YouTube videos, learned how to take patterns from a shirt. So instead of hiring somebody to do this, I decided to take the long way. And I learned how to make patterns. I took photos of shirts that I liked.
What do you
I
mean patterns?
uploaded that. Patterns are like the front panel, so the portions of the garment itself. So for a t-shirt, you have a front pattern, you have a back pattern, or a panel, and then the sleeve panels, and then the collar. So that's five panels, and that's one t-shirt pattern. So you can change the dimensions of this. You can change the length of the sleeves. You can change the width, and it's going to fit on somebody differently. And this is what I kind of learned. I took my favorite shirts. I took pictures of them. I uploaded them on a vector program, which was Adobe Illustrator, scaled them to size, and then printed them off at Staples, brought them home. Big pieces of paper, laid out fabric that I'd got at Joanne Fabrics, which was obviously not American made. It's all from China, but just the fit of the tee at first. So we cut these patterns out. I learned how to sew. I bought a sewing machine on Amazon, sewed them all together, put on my first shirt that I created. And then I kind of developed, the shirt to fit me the best way possible. And that's how I developed the pattern side of things. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm also trying to source American fabrics at the same time, which is incredibly difficult. The textile factory is entirely gone. It's all done overseas, mostly China, but there's also Pakistan. There's Korea. There's a lot of South American countries that you can buy cheap shirts from, which is great because it's very cheap, very affordable, but it's obviously at the cost of sending all the manufacturing overseas, not just the manufacturing of the garments themselves, but also the textile industry, patterns, developers, all these things are all being outsourced overseas, where I've brought the entire process back home. So it took me about almost a year to source the material that I wanted, which is a micro poly spandex. It's a 92% micro poly, 8% spandex. I went through 3 rotations of, developing a certain style. And when I say style, they finish it in Los Angeles. They source, all of the yarns are sourced within the U.S.
When you
Go
say
ahead.
style, does that mean the sizing, the proportions, the cuts?
The fit will be the sizing of the shirt, the fit,
Okay.
but the style of the fabric, I'm sorry. Yeah, the style of the fabric will be the components that make the fabric itself. So for my current t-shirts, my current productions, the style is a 92 micro poly, 8% spandex. That's the style. But that also includes the finishing parts of the fabric as well. So they're antimicrobial. They're moisture wicking, so they have this finish that actually makes it more moisture wicking, because polyester is a natural wicking fiber. And then also a sueded finish as well. So they suede the fabric on the outside. That's where they take a big brush, they bring the fabric down and rub this kind of, I'm not sure what the material is. It's kind of like it's this brush. It's not, I'm not sure what it is, but it disrupts the fibers. It kind of messes them up a little bit and breaks them. But polyester is extremely durable. So what it does is it makes it feel like a natural fiber. It makes it feel like a cotton fiber, but it's polyester and spandex. So it's soft on the outside, and you feel the difference. And then it also, once the polyester is brushed, it kind of stays that way forever, because it is such a durable yarn. But specifically, like this American polyester yarn is different than like any other type of polyester you get from one of these poor countries, where you don't know what type of finishes they have. You don't know what type of what type of finishes they do with the product. And then obviously they're not enforced by, these strict regulations, because a lot of the finishes you can get in some of these outdoor brands, which, you're in Maine, outdoor clothing is probably pretty big out there. You have to stay away from like these DWR finishes. The DWR is a big one. It depends on how they do the process, but these are PFA chemicals and they stay in your body forever. You want to stay away from the finishes. So it's a common misconception that that polyester is naturally bad for you. Get cotton clothing, get natural clothing, but polyester is not bad for your skin. If it does shed any sort of microplastic from polyester, it's not going to be a small enough particle to enter your blood. It's not going to, it's kind of like this. It's more just a marketing ploy than anything else. But the finishing that they use for these materials is something you need to look out for. So it's not the polyester you need to look out for. It's the finishes that go on the polyester.
Polyester is stable, basically. It doesn't shed. Is that what it is?
No, so it does shed microplastic. It does shed a slightly, but they're such big particles that it's not going to enter your bloodstream. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to harm you. What you need to watch out for is what you drink, plastic bottles, what you consume. You're going to get the plastics through oral consumption. You're not going to get plastics in your body by polyester. And even if polyester, even if it does have a small enough particle that gets in you, it's not made from BPA. BPA is what you have to look out for in plastics. That's something that's something that affects your hormone level.
It does. Estrogen. It's an estrogenic.
That's it. Yep, you get
know
it.
Who Ori Hofmaker is by chance? We're a little off track, but I love it.
No, go ahead.
You know who Ori Hofmaker is?
No.
He wrote a book called The Warrior Diet. Probably the most famous, but he also wrote the Anti-Estrogenic Diet. And in it, he mentions that, and he actually says you can tell by the recycling number how bad they are leach-wise. Like this more stable plastics will be the lower numbers.
Yep. Okay. That's I need to do. Yes, I've heard of something very similar, but not that specific reference. But that sounds about right.
It's really interesting stuff, and a lot of those hormonal agents from petroleum products don't go away for a long time. They can sit for 50 years and will still affect humans.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's alarming, and and you know what? We're getting clothing that's made
Yeah.
overseas. They don't have these rigid implementations to
Oh
avoid
yeah.
these, because it's the finishing part of the material. It's the finishing that you need to look out
Chemicals.
for. So, go ahead. What
The
was that?
chemicals, like what they're doing to
Yeah.
finish. So sorry, forgive me for being naive, but I might not be the only person watching this doesn't know this, right? So, you get a T-shirt, then they're dousing it in a chemical, they're spraying it. What happens and why?
They typically fully submerge it before they put it on the roll. They'll have it entirely submerged, and they'll bring it back on the roll before they roll it together. But I have no idea what they do in these foreign countries. I mean, no one. I mean, it's that there's nothing to keep these companies accountable for what's actually done. So they have antimicrobial, they have wicking finishes, but I have no idea what that means, in these poorer or in China or South America where they don't have these checks and balances. Like my textile manufacturer is specifically, it's enforced by what's called Blue Sign. Blue Sign is I think it's a Swiss company, but they ensure that any sort of chemicals that are used on these materials are not harmful to people. So yes, you use different moisture wicking or antimicrobial, but they have to fit within the guidelines. They have to be not harmful to the end consumer that's going to end up wearing them. So anytime you're buying stuff from overseas, who knows what type of finishes they do, but I know exactly, my finished material is, it's done the proper way. It's done within the United States. It's enforced by Blue Sign. They can't do anything outside of these guidelines that the Blue Sign, if you want to look them up too, they have some of the bigger companies out there.
Well, quick question. Can we grow cotton in America? Do we?
We do, yeah. So we have Supima cotton, which is one of the longer fibers. Supima cotton is very soft, but also very durable. It's a longer fiber. We grow the cotton, but we ship it overseas. We outsource it to be for it to be, what do you call it? The process for it to go from cotton into a yarn is a part of the process, but we outsource that. So we grow the cotton, we outsource most of it to Europe to be turned or spun. Spun is the term.
Yeah.
Spun into yarn. And then from there, it's usually imported back to America. And then, for the companies that do want to make USA fabrics, it's initially grown here, exported, and then re-imported back to America in yarn form. But we are a major exporter of Supima cotton. We just don't have the robust, industry like we used to have, because everything's going overseas. And I'm sure that was one of the things that also went overseas as well, which is, converting this cotton into yarn. But yes, we do grow it. It's typically in the Midwest where you find Supima cotton.
Very interesting. It's funny how life takes you on these twists and turns, isn't it? Right? Like T-shirts, right? Like jumping out. You go from jumping out of airplanes to T-shirts.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. I would have called you crazy if you told me that's what I was doing. And, in 2021, if you told me I was going to be making T-shirts or, fitness apparel, performance apparel, I'll tell you, you're crazy.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's this is what I've asked you to help me with, was like, I got a race. It's in Bangor, Maine. We're doing 52 miles, 28th of August. Shameless plug. But I want the best race T-shirt. Okay. Wait, let's take a step back, right? I like to race. I like to canoe race. I like to adventure race, right?
Yep.
I think you're going to appreciate this. So I have a drawer of T-shirts. I don't like to wear a tie. I don't unless I absolutely have to. If you force me, I'll do it. But I own one. It's in there. It fits. You know what I mean? I know how to tie it still. But anyways, so what I do, I don't know about you, Nathaniel. I don't judge my fashion choice. I pull out my T-shirt drawer, and I pick the T-shirt that is there's just a certain feel, a fit. Okay? So I was like, I want the best race T-shirt ever made. And that's why I called you. And I trust
Love
you to
it.
give me the best. I want the one that these people never throw out. This thing's going to be 30 years old. And I want it to be the one they choose.
I think we're very similar in that way. I got the same thing. I know when I opened the drawer, I got probably 20 different options, but I'm going for maybe 2 or 3 of them consistently. The ones that fit right, the ones that wear in right. You know, you wear it for years and years, and it's still the same shirt. It becomes your favorite. You start to develop this relationship with the shirt. It becomes sentimental. But yeah, that's exactly what we need to make, is that type of tee that's going to be the go-to, shirt for everybody, where they're going to, choose this one. And it's not only the performance aspects of, this will be the shirt that it's wrinkle resistant. It's going to be, it doesn't shrink. It's going to stay the same size. Doesn't matter if the washing instructions don't dry it on high heat, but you can dry it in high heat. It's at your discretion. We recommend you don't do it, but you can totally do it, and it's going to be fine. But it's not going to shrink if you do so. And then also,
does
on
that
top
wear
of
them
all
out
of that,
faster? Is that why you don't do it, or is it because it ruins the printing or whatever?
typically the printing will start to deteriorate, but the drying process doesn't affect anything besides the printing. But then if it's cotton, it's obviously going to shrink. But yeah, definitely follow the instructions, the label instructions. It's on whatever garment you're wearing. But if you do decide to dry it on high heat at your discretion, it's not going to shrink on you, is what I'm trying to say. And on top of all that, everything is made in the U.S. Everything is manufactured in San Diego. The fabric is USA fabric. It's all done. The polyester yarns come from North Carolina. The spandex comes from Los Angeles. It's knitted together in Los Angeles. It's finished, dyed, all in Los Angeles. And then I pick up the fabric and I get it to my San Diego cutter. I send my plotter all of the patterns. She prints them out on this massive printer. I can get some video for that too.
Love it.
She prints out all the patterns. That's my cutter. He lays out the fabric. Depending on the production size, if it's 200 units, 250 units, whatever it is, he'll lay it out accordingly. So 250 layers of fabric, and then he lays the paper on top of it, and then he makes the cuts the following day. He lays it out, lets the fabric kind of adjust itself accordingly to the spandex, and then he cuts it the following day. Then it gets to my sewer, who does the flat lock seams. I've chosen flat lock.
What's that
the
mean?
most
What's a flat lock seam? I mean, listen. Even if I did know, maybe not everybody knows what a flat lock seam is. Which I don't know.
You might have some flat locks on what you're wearing right there. It's a very common one. It's used.
Yeah.
It could be an overlock. It looks like your shoulders are overlocks. That's where the material kind of comes together. And you don't see. Yep, that's an overlock seam right there. So the flat lock is slightly more durable, but it removes any excess fabric on the inside. Yep, those are all overlocks. It's kind of hard to see from here, but those all look like overlocks. So flat lock seams are a little bit different.
You're my guy.
It's six needles. Yeah, I just nerding out on all this stuff. Went from a private team guy to a fashionista. It doesn't make any sense. But the flat lock is 6 needles, and it's extremely durable. So she does the flat locks. She does cover stitches for the neck portion, and then the hemming down at the bottom and on the sleeves. So. We can get footage of all this stuff if you want to see it. But everything's done in the United States. All the manufacturing, all the sourcing, everything is done here. So it's more than just the best shirt in your drawer. It's the best shirt that actually comes from a brand that actually stands for something.
Well, you know what? And we're gonna do a thing with. I think I told you, but we're gonna have a section on the back for our sponsors, but then we're going to have an honoring veterans section, and I'm letting anyone donate $100 to Beyond the Brotherhood, and we'll put a name of any veteran that they want to honor on the back of our t-shirt. And that's the other part I think is going to be cool. I already have a friend, he's a Marine, he's already signed up, and he has a guy that he served with that died with him, and he's going to be on the back of the t-shirt. And And it's like the Penobscot Nation, the natives where I live, they believe that you can kind of give your suffering, the energy, you know, to somebody else, or kind of put it in a positive way, you know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of what I'm envisioning with our race is 52 miles. There's going to be currents, wind. It's going to suck really bad, Nathaniel. And people that do it with a paddleboard, they're out of their mind crazy, right? These are tidal currents. Like, yeah, you don't want to don't do it, anybody. Everybody watching this, don't paddleboard it. Go do something dumb. Anyways, so I'm like, I don't know, just trying to make a t-shirt worthy of their, the whole thing.
That's incredible. I mean, it's an honor for me to be part of something like that. Like you guys are, as a brand that stands for something, what you're doing stands for something, and it's entirely honorable. And like I couldn't think of a better guy to partner with.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's an honor over that.
The one thing I know about Nathaniel is being an old, broken down warrior, right? Like, I'm sure my surgery list looks like a lot of your guys' surgery lists. And, dude, we were talking before we start recording, but there's nothing I love more than my freedoms. I love my country. I love all of this stuff that you guys are protecting and all the... If I'm going to help anybody, it's going to be the guys protecting the thing that means the most to me. I think.
Hell yeah! Why? I'm not serving anymore, but the guys that still are. I mean, are the guys that the fabric that I come from. But those are the guys that are still doing the job, and that's the those are the guys that need to be remembered. The guys that paid the ultimate price, and the guys that are still doing the job. So it's not. I've stepped out. I'm in the entrepreneurship world, but I'm afforded the opportunity because the guys that are still out there on the battlefield. So they deserve.
I agree.
Go ahead.
There's the same natives, they have this thing that they know, and I think it's totally true, and I don't know how you feel, and for me it's like the who can I help, right, is like the guys coming back and the guys like you transitioning to be entrepreneurs, to go out and have a new purpose in the world, right? And so the Penobscots, they say when a guy goes to war, when he comes back, they give him a new name because he's not the same person anymore.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's crazy to see some of the correlations between different cultures, but it's
I guess what I'm saying is, you carry all that with you, right? Like for the rest of your life, everything you've done on our behalf, you will carry with you in one shape or another.
Absolutely.
And I feel like Beyond the Brotherhood is kind of like trying to help at least some of those guys carry that burden or repurpose them, and I don't know.
100%. Yeah, Beyond the Brotherhood offers that extended. Once you're gone, once you leave, it's you're not surrounded by these highly functioning individuals that these are your brothers. These are the guys that you eat with, sleep next to. Like this is your family, and you do have your family at home, but you have the guys that you experience all these different kind of experiences that require the same kind of family and brothers that understand what you're going through. And once you leave that community, there's a void that every guy will face. There's this void that they don't have anymore, and Beyond the Brotherhood fills that void with the same guys that are just on the outside. It's that network. It's just being around them is therapy enough. Just being around the same guys that have been through similar or the same situation or very similar situations is the therapy itself.
And from the bottom of my heart, I really I appreciate your service, and we're gonna do this. I'm gonna be bugging you for a while.
No, I hope so. I hope so. If you do, no, I appreciate your appreciation, but definitely don't need a thank you. It's what I chose to do. It's what I'm honored to do, and I was honored to be able to do the stuff that I did. But I appreciate your appreciation.
Well, and it's not as deep a brotherhood like you, but for me, I fought in the UFC, and we had a lot of adversity together. It's not the same. You guys are the highest level of adversity, but going to a gym every day, beating the heck out of each other, it's a tough life. I think you understand, right? Fighting on the local circuit, like no money.
I can understand that I don't understand. I mean, that's an entirely different lifestyle. We did training, and guys would break their legs on jumping, but getting hit in the face on a daily basis is a little bit different. I understand that I don't understand.
Well, there's a certain grind to it, but the point I was making is like every pro athlete I know has separation anxiety. We all miss our brothers, like this, and being the man. Like there's an aspect of being young and studly and being the man and like losing that for me. I'm not saying you've lost it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's why you got to surround yourself with those kind of people. I mean, that's why, I mean, if we make this a long-term thing, like that's who I want to be, you know, working with, communicating with. And like, that's, you know, like it has your kind of values and your kind of outlook on life is who I want to be working with. I mean, that's it right there.
I feel the same way. And I have a really funny, with my investment advising, I never take anybody who's a jerk. And one of my clients, I go, listen, if someone's a jerk, don't send them my way. I have this weird dream of like these people. I love people that are like out there and doing good in the world and like trying to shift the world in a good way. And I like being the person behind them helping them. I don't know. You know what I mean?
That's honorable, man. That's an honorable thing you do.
Yeah.
No, I can understand it, but yeah, that's
thank you.
Incredible things you do. Yeah.
Thanks for helping us. I'm excited for your t-shirt. And listen, and as far as the t-shirt goes, like we'll talk more about it maybe later, but I trust you to give us the best t-shirt. You know what we want. You know what I want. And hopefully we have it by race day, but if worst case scenario, I think the best thing to do is if I have to mail it to them after to give it to them right and perfect, let's do it. Whatever I have to do to give them the best race t-shirt worthy of our veterans.
Understood.
Let's do it. Hey, thank you so much for your time, Nathaniel.
Thanks, bro.
See you, buddy. Have a great day.